authorities bust 36 million in illegal marijuana warehouse in Oakland. In total, law enforcement bust a massive illegal grow in Oakland last week, finding an estimated 36.9 million worth of cannabis in an unlicensed facility. In total, an operation led by the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. Now, this is the first time that I've ever heard of anybody being raided like in a grow by the Fish and Wildlife. I know listen, I came from the past and I'm now in the future, but that just sounded crazy when I read that it wasn't like drug agents, it wasn't the DEA, it wasn't the FBI, it was Fish and Wildlife. So they found 41,082 cannabis plants and 1,841 pounds of processed cannabis, according to Janice Mackey, a spokesman for the agency. This is one of the largest enforcement actions in terms of retail value in the Bay Area this year. The operation occurred on September 28th at the 300 block of Adeline near Interstate 880. Officers also seized 3 firearms at the scene. No one was arrested. The police come in, or Fish and Wildlife come in. There's $40 million worth of weed, guns, and nobody gets arrested. That is what the okay, all right, let's go. Let's ride.
It's a misdemeanor, Luke. So, it's a misdemeanor. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. That's what I'm saying. This is to me, it's like reading these stories is still almost hard to process because these things didn't happen. Back in 2006,
right,
in 2008 and stuff. So it's exciting. It's almost comical, and then it's funny because I'm talking about these stories while a lot of my bros and sisters are still in prison for cannabis. But that's another story. So anyway, this operation, they got raided on the 28th. No one was arrested. It says marijuana is legal in California, but the business owners must obtain a license and a permit to grow the plant commercially. The Oakland facility did not have the proper licensing. Illicit cannabis continues to thrive in California 7 years after voters legalized. Illegal cannabis sales in California were estimated to be worth $8 billion last year, far more than the $5.4 billion in legal sales. Wow. The DCC told SF Standard. Large illegal cannabis growing facilities are routinely found in the Bay Area, especially in Oakland and the surrounding suburbs. They say it goes on to talk about a few other raids they have. They say they just uncovered this $36 million one. 3 months earlier, they had another one for $34 million in another Oakland warehouse. And the state has increased its enforcement against illegal growing this year, seizing over $109 million worth of illegal cannabis in the second quarter of 2023, more than twice as much as was seized in the first quarter, according to the DCC. Okay, so if the first grow was 36 million and the second grow was 34 million, and in the entire time you've only seized 109 million, and you made it sound like you're doing this huge impact. It sounds like you've only raided or had 3 grows stopped.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yes,
my
sir.
math might be funny. Like I said,
checks out.
It's been a long time since I've been in college, but according to my math, you've stopped 3 grows.
Bro, I mean, grows are hard to find
if you're doing it right.
I mean, how much did it cost to do this? Isn't there? Does the fishing game have rivers and stuff that people pollute that they got to make sure they don't dump stuff in?
That's
stuff that
very much so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there could have been pesticide. There could have been pesticides or newts outside that a neighbor called about. But also, Fish and Wildlife. A big reason Fish and Wildlife will do raids like this is they have greater powers than the California BNE or the Highway Patrol or the local cops. In fact, the Fish and Wildlife can just sit by the side of the road and pull you over and search your car without a warrant. It's all they have to do is say that they're looking for any type of game and that you're in a fish or game-rich area.
Yep.
So that might be a reason why they did this, Luke, because it would be easier for them to get the warrants.
Very, 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 very possible. Did they mention how much that they took? I know you put a dollar value on it, but does the valuation calculator actually pen out in this bust, Luke?
No. Once again, okay, so they said they have 41,000 plants and 1,800 pounds. I don't know how you get to 36 million off of that.
maybe
I don't
they're
even know what market you like. They said according to retail value, like
they're
like
talking
broken
about
down into like
they're breaking it down to
pre-rolls or something.
They're,
Like
they're,
I,
they're
what-
breaking it down to 8x8 and getting $80 an eighth and all of
I'm
that.
like, is this pre-COVID,
That has to be that.
pre-Prop 250? What year?
I mean, they have to be factoring this at about $100 an eighth in order to come up with those numbers because they're and I think this is why the cannabis industry doesn't have any money is because the cops keep taking it all. Like that's $70 million that you added up that we could have had in the cannabis industry. Maybe someone could have got an investment with that 70 million. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, it is really wild that you see these enforcement actions happening in California, and then you see the California law enforcement agencies come with these crazy numbers. Like I understand, like sometimes when you get like the Kentucky raid, and they say, "Oh, we raided 50 plants and it's worth $190,000 or something." They don't really have an idea. California, like, come on, man. Like you know how tough it is in this market. Like that dude's grow right there was worth probably like a few $1,000s.
I thought it was worth some millions, bro. The way that the weed was coming out of there, $100
Cops
an
are
eighth
real
quality.
frustrated, Luke. I've met with some cops about this, and they're very frustrated because Prop 64 made all this a misdemeanor soaking wet. Okay, when you challenge them, why you're wasting resources on this, their butts pucker up and they get mad. They do not like that the control of this has been taken out of their hands. But no politician has a plan, because if you don't work on this so that people can get access legally and they pay taxes and run businesses, the default is the cops got to clean the mess up. And they're pissed about it because no one wants to pay them to do it. They don't get the headlines. People like us go, you got 10 plants and it's worth $100 million. Fuck you. That's not even new math. That's crazy. You lie like a rug. And nobody is solving the problem here. And I mean, I used to deal with cops who go out and just cut your greenhouses up. They confiscate your plants, cut your greenhouses up. No one would charge you because they couldn't. And they were just on a tear. They need to solve the problem of accessibility for everybody and not make it so goddamn hard, because the trap shops just kick your ass all day long. And this is just an extension of trap shops. We're sending this shit to New York or wherever else they're going to have a market for it.
And it's just another case too of taxation. Like, listen, you wouldn't have these big grows and you wouldn't need to waste resources on the enforcement of them if you would knock off some of these taxes and make it to where some of these people that are doing these grows can come over into the legal market and be able to be successful in it. And when they can do that, then you don't have to do all this wasted resources and wasted human lives on the enforcement side. It'll make up for the taxes. You'll welcome more people into the market, which will also increase your tax revenue. I mean, hello, who's running this show in there?
Yeah. So
Nobody.
I saw
That's
the
the
pictures from
problem.
this article, Luke, and someone who is not me went to this place, and it's run by foreign nationals. There's actually quite a few large-scale businesses like this that are run by foreign nationals of a particular country, and they're actually funneling the money, the majority of the money, out of the United States.
Man, oh man, oh man,
Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah,
I was a little shocked when I saw the picture. I was like,
Different-
damn, that
that's
street
what's a
looks hella
different
familiar,
color.
dude.
Man,